Welcome to the Goof and Goober Show, the podcast that brings you laughter, insight, and the quirkiest conversations. Join your hosts, Matthew and Regan, as they embark on a delightful journey through the realms of pop culture, humor, and everyday shenanigans. So, buckle up and get ready for a roller coaster of fun and entertainment. Let's dive into the world of laughs with Matthew and Regan on the Goof and the Goober Show. Welcome, everyone, to the Goof and Goober Show. We are live right now. It is Sunday night. We usually go on Monday nights, but this week's a little special. It is Halloween. If anybody knows anything about me, I hate scary movies. And Halloween is not my favorite holiday. Matthew, is it, well, hang on, before I talk to you, Matthew, let me introduce you to my host, my best friend, Matthew Leathers. So, just like your daughter. If you guys also, before I ask you this question, Matthew, if you guys are not here for pre-shows or anything like that, and you want to be notified about the pre-shows, go follow us on either Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch, and you will be notified. Or make sure you hit the ring notification so that you get notified when we do go live. Oh, shoot. I can't. And then we'll go live, and this is a live show every week. Usually Mondays at 8 p.m. But Matthew, would you say Halloween is one of your favorite holidays?
It's not actually. No, it's not one of my favorite holidays. Because I don't like worshiping the devil.
Now, what are you doing? What are you doing? Because today, right now, it is Sunday. We talked a little bit of this on the pre-show, but I want people who are listening right now to know what your plans are for Halloween.
We are going over to Rachel's house.
Wow, and
they're gonna have a bonfire, I guess.
It's gonna be crazy lit, as the kids would say.
Crazy lit.
That's high. Like the kids would say.
Yeah, it's mid.
No, I thought because mid. When you say mid, it makes it sound like it's all right.
So good. You're too funny. I should be using that during the show. No, I mean, we're just gonna go over and hang out. I think she has like a projector. She's gonna put a projector screen and watch a movie, I guess, outside. I don't know. I'm not going for myself. I'm going for Kaylee because she wants me to go, and Rachel has parties left and right at her house. And just like,
is she a big
just
party girl?
Unnecessary. No, I'm just kidding. She's not like that type of party girl, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
She just has a lot of parties and like get-togethers. A ton.
Understand.
But I'm going for Kaylee. So that's what we're doing for Thanksgiving. What are you doing for Halloween?
I think I'm just gonna stay, watch, because last year I wasn't able to really like sit at my house and hand out candy to like the neighbors and get to see like my neighbors really at all, or neighbor kids or whatever. So because I was out trying to get candy for the neighborhood, so because we weren't really expecting it, or just forgot about it because we were first time homeowners, and so it's just like, oh, and I wasn't able to sit and watch it. So I think tomorrow, or not, on Halloween, I'm sitting in my porch, nice and cozy, nice and like all cozied up, get some freaking VHSs playing, and hand out some candy to some kids. So I think that's the plan. That's the plan right now.
What's your wife doing?
Same, I think.
Oh, okay. You made it sound like that's what you were doing. I didn't
Oh,
know.
well, you had asked me what I was doing, and so
I said,
like,
"What are you guys doing?"
Oh, my bad. Yeah, I should have been. I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's whatever.
But yeah.
Because a couple of years ago, you guys went to a Halloween party and dressed up as the Joker.
Was that on Halloween? Yeah, it might have been.
What else would it have been?
I mean, the Halloween parties are like on for crazy, like not even on Halloween days. My wife just went to a Halloween party the other night, and it wasn't even Halloween.
What? It makes no sense.
But that's what they do. They do Halloween on either like weekend because they're not going to do it on like a. Some people don't want to throw a party on the middle of on a Tuesday. Out of the middle of the week, so they do it on the weekend.
Yeah,
that's how it is. The party life, man. So it is.
Big party lifers.
Oh yeah. Guys, thank you for joining in. If you're listening to this live, thanks, guys. We appreciate it. Thanks for the like. The Infinity Bros and Isaac Evanson have liked our post live. Let's go. Appreciate you guys and the support you guys provide for us in our journey of the Goof and Goober. And what a journey it's been. I kind of wanted to kind of reflect on our whole journey, Matthew, if you don't mind, because I mean we kind of have a short.
Can you look at your phone really quick, just for 2 seconds?
No, what did you do?
Look on your Instagram, just really quick. So Regan and I, we send each other like gifts and pictures and stuff.
Should I turn it all the way up or what?
No, don't turn it up. It's not a video.
Oh, my phone. Why are you doing this in the middle of a stream?
Because you were doing the intro. You were doing the intro, so I pulled it up, and I was like, "Oh gosh, I gotta send this to him."
But in the middle of the podcast that we're recording, now nobody's getting to know what we're talking about.
So
you explain
I can't
it.
show it to you, but
I don't want to explain it. You explain it.
So
you brought it
picture,
up. Now you have to explain.
This picture on Instagram is this older lady standing with her Halloween costume, and it says "retired Hooters girl," and she's an old lady and saggy tits that are hanging out of the shirt.
Oh my god!
It just looks gross.
Ugh. Why?
But it's a costume. It's not real. It's not real.
There's not real.
But it's hilarious.
Why would you
just looks like nuts hanging down. Oh so funny. Sorry, I knew Regan would get a kick out of it, but all right, continue. Sorry.
Just can't.
So good. So funny. Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's
such a good photo. I need to send that to Josh Chisholm. He might give her a ring.
A bunch of inside jokes. We're just throwing them all in so nobody knows. They're just like, what in the world? They're just, what is happening here?
That means you have to listen to the whole podcast because we've talked about them before.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah. You got to go back and watch all the podcasts.
We go deep. We go deep. No, it's deep. Not like super deep. I mean, it's like, dude, I don't know. Anyways, I forget what I was talking about. What I wanted.
We're about to get.
Oh yeah. I wanted to talk about our journey in being the Goof and Goober Show. Because right now we are on episode 38. I gotta change. I still have 37. I mean, on some of ours. And so we're here. We're episode 38. We're coming up to 1 year, I think, right? When did we
January?
When did we start? It was around January, I want to say.
Let's look.
Because
9 months ago.
Yeah, we're coming up 3 months in 3 months.
So end of January.
Yeah, dude, we're coming up. I mean, we're well over halfway. We're 3/4 of the way, technically. Then
To what?
to a full 1 year.
Oh, we
One-
started January 9th,
Is that really
2023. Yep.
2023? Jeez,
Yep.
man.
Wow.
Started a new year.
We've got 2,200 views
Oh man,
total.
look at
It's
us
not
go!
bad.
Just paving the way for small streamers, man.
Yeah.
That's really. Oh, geez. Oh yeah, it's fun. Well, okay. Anyways, Matthew, so far we're coming up. Then, I mean, what do we got? 1, 2 more months basically until we're hitting that 1 year. Should we do a celebration for our 1 year? I think this is the time when we should be talking about that. If we do a celebration,
I've actually thought
for
about
1
this.
year. Okay.
I thought about this. I was thinking we'd do a live, our 1 year being in person together at the same location.
Okay. Yeah.
Somewhere.
Dude, that's one of the things I really want for us is that instead of us doing it on, I think we still use Riverside, but I'd love for us to just get our own play or change one of our basements basically into a streaming area, and I'd be willing to do it here because I already got to freaking wreck my freaking basement anyways. I mean, your basement too. I mean, we could do either or.
Yeah.
Really. But the problem is,
we're so far away.
I know.
We got to drive an hour.
I know. And
dude, you need to convince your wife to move out of the cities.
Oh, dude, that's going to be hard. It's going to be hard.
It's not going to be that hard. It really would.
It's going to be hard. I'm telling you right now. She's a city girl. She loves the city.
Yeah, but she's 30.
Mm-hmm. I bet this is what's going to happen.
Okay, I'm listening.
We have a kid. We're going to move out. That's what I'm guessing.
If you have a kid.
If we get a kid, or when, I guess it's more of when.
If or when. Yeah, you're right.
If or when. Yeah.
If or when, you're right. Yeah.
We'll probably move out of the city. We've just had I don't know.
How I don't know how you guys like living in the cities.
I mean, I'm not like a huge fan of it. I think the nice
you're
thing about it is just like things are close to you, but for me, I don't really get out that much. It's not really that important to me. Like, so I just like stay at home. Like, and so now I even will stay home more because now I just bought my home workout, more home gym. Not my home workout, my home gym. So like now I'm going to be.
Oh, Mike. Okay. So I was going to talk to you about that actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, Kaylee's uncle is giving, he's going to give us his weights from his weight set.
Ooh.
But not the weight set itself.
Like he's just giving you
squat
the
rack.
weights.
He's upgrading his weight plates to the plates.
How much weight, No.
Oh, no clue.
Is it like Olympic barbells or is it like the steel?
I think they're Olympic. I mean, the guy only buys like
stuff,
really nice stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
He only buys like really nice stuff.
Well, that's good. Well, yeah, dude, that's freaking sweet. Get back into it, man.
I need space.
Anyway, well, let's get back into what we're talking about. The
review
of Goof and Goober. Yeah, I'd be down though.
So Tyler, you guys should move out closer together.
I would be down.
So that way we could have a stream.
I want to be honest, I want to live in Waconia. I think Waconia is a great place to live. I love this this idea, and it's just a kind of like a memory, but it's not really a memory. I want to make it a memory of being able just to bike ride to the movie theater and then bike ride back to my house.
That'd be sick.
Dude, I love that idea. And Waconia, and it's like not like a big movie. It's like one of those old fashioned movie theaters with the lights, like the bulbs that kind of stick out. And I love that. And I don't know. By the lake, it's a great community, and it's growing too.
It's the happiest nation or happiest county in
county. In the state or
in the country.
Really? Oh,
happiest
there's the baby.
County in the country.
In the country, I'd say.
Hey. Well, even. Oh, say hi.
Hi. Hi. Right on the friggin' live stream. And.
Can you sing? Can you sing? Say hi. Yeah, Carver County is. It was ranked the happiest place in America.
Wow. Hi. Yeah, dude. I think we've with the luck. Hi. Not even
So
the luck.
cute.
It's just what happens. Did I tell you? Oh, I got a friggin' story. I don't think I've told you this because I didn't want to tell you, but it's whatever. It's not necessarily whatever. Hi. Hi. Oh gosh. So
Good night.
good night.
Are you podcasting with us? Yeah.
Oh,
Say bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.
And she got her Halloween jammies. Take her. Thought you were gonna throw her.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I think they picked him off again. Yep, they picked him off again. Yeah, he's not a good QB.
Keep going.
Frick, what was I going off about? Dude, I had a huge point I wanted to talk about.
It's a big problem with us. What were you talking about?
What
Minnesota? Waconia?
Waconia. And here, living here. Okay, huge story.
Okay. You didn't want to tell me.
I'm driving home. Yeah, I didn't want to tell you. Because it just emphasizes why we shouldn't live in the cities. I'm driving home, and on my way home, I drive past these apartments. I don't necessarily need to. It's just I had over the summer they had road work, and I had to take a detour the whole time, and this detour made me go past these apartments. I don't have to do it anymore, but it's just okay. Doesn't matter. I'm driving past these apartments, and they're not the nicest apartments you usually see in it's a nice town. They're kind of ran down a little bit, older. And what I see, bunch of SWAT guys lined up on the edge of this apartment, ready to seize some apartment with the battering ram. And I'm like, oh gosh. And this apartment complex, literally 2 or 3 blocks away from me. I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm like, this isn't safe. I don't feel safe really a whole lot. And lots of the times too, you'll hear I don't know, you hear kind of fireworks or something like that. Sometimes you have no idea. You're guessing, is that fireworks or gunshots? I have no idea. Because sometimes you can kind of see if they're fireworks because they're in the sky. But sometimes they're too far away. You're like, is that a gunshot or firework? I have no idea. So, yeah, it's not really not the safest place to raise a child in. I would say, though, there are safe places in the cities, nicer areas, I guess you should say. I should say nice areas. But like when you go to a small town, pretty much the whole town's pretty much safe. There's not a whole lot of.
My rule of thumb is that if the city, you have to say, like, you can't go down this street or go into this area, it's like a no-go city for me.
Yeah.
Like Waconia, you can go anywhere. Eden Prairie, you can go anywhere. Chaska, Chanhassen, like.
Yeah. Well, that's
Minnetonka.
the thing. I think Tyler would be fine with moving to Eden Prairie or that area, dying over that. But like,
super expensive.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know about that.
That's why you go.
She is the director of nursing, basically, for her company, though. That's the thing, is that she's. I don't know. Well, anyway, I don't know.
Let's find her online, huh?
I don't want to give her the whole thing. But yeah, I don't know. But to reflect on our whole thing, I think, we could probably do what the Infinity Bros do, is just a year review, since we did start basically in January. And if January 8th was our official
start date,
January 8th is a Monday of next year.
We could go like a weekend retreat.
Dude.
The weekend. Just go like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then go Monday.
Dude.
Go up to Duluth. Something. Bring all of our stuff.
Yeah.
And pot it up somewhere. Get an Airbnb, a nice Airbnb.
Well, the thing, we just have to get it all set up, and just make sure everything is going well. I mean, we have the same cameras.
Yeah. True.
So it wouldn't matter too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be down, dude. We got to do that. We have to do something with the money we made from all that
money.
All the money we made for the first year. Out of the first year. We got to do something with it. From our merch, from all our followers. Also, if you're listening, we do have merch out. You can go and find that merch. It's on our link tree. The link tree is linktr.ee/the Goof and Goober Show. And you can find all our merch and all of our plugs for social, YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Insta, and Apple Podcast. We should probably add more for our podcast for like Spotify and all that stuff. But you can go on our merch and buy some merch there too. I think we might need to change that because it is a lot. It is pretty spendy for $28 for 27. Well, be 28 for a t-shirt. Just for a t-shirt, it's kind of, I don't know. I wouldn't do that. So I think we got to change our vendor on that. But that's for year 2. That's for year 2. Okay. But
Dos Techies.
Matthew, if you could change one thing for next year when we do the podcast, what would it be and why?
What would it be and why? I would take more time to do more shorts.
Yeah.
Short videos.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's
more
of
the skits that we did the Father's Day skit. That was a good one.
I love doing that.
Like at least once a month. Can't be like too crazy, obviously, but like once a month would be, fun.
Just putting together skits. Yeah.
Doing, I think we one-off movies and doing like short videos for it. Like I went to go see Five Nights at Freddy's this last week, and that would have been pretty cool to do like a little shorts.
And you did go see another movie before that one. What did you go see before that one too?
Dumb Money.
Dumb Money. How was that?
That was pretty good.
Yeah,
they both were pretty good actually.
Because the Dumb Money one was about the GameStop.
Yeah,
and
there was like one guy leading the charge for GameStop stock.
Oh, really?
And yeah, a bunch of people made a ton of money, and they were like, "Is he holding? Is he holding? Or do I pull out or do I not?"
Because he was like the main shareholder, or what?
He just liked the stock,
but he held the majority of GameStop stock. Was that the? I don't know.
She did not hold the majority of. No.
Oh, she didn't have.
So no. So he bought into the stock and was like, "Man, I just really like the stock," and he started making videos on it, and he's like, "Huh, this could go up. I don't know." And so he posted videos, and then people just started randomly following it, and people started following it and following it and following it, and over time, all of the people that bought in were watching this YouTuber streamer and was like just following everything that he does with the stock. And they were waiting to pull out when he pulled out. And then there was like a lawsuit for it. And it was pretty cool. It was a good movie. I liked it.
Oh, good. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
And Five Nights at Freddy's, I went to go see that. Regan wouldn't go see it.
I don't like scary movies. I told you.
He said he doesn't like scary movies. It's really not scary. It's really not. So if you go see it, I'm just letting you know it's really not that scary. Couple jump scares here and there, but it's actually got a good story. So,
I'll never know. Maybe
you'll never know.
I guess not.
It was a good one though.
Yeah. I mean, who knows?
I'd watch it again.
Dude,
that doesn't happen very often.
We should have gone probably whatever.
All right, let's talk about Loki.
Yeah, let's get into 4. Yeah, we're gonna get into that. The Loki season 2, episode 4. Let me get a little synopsis here. This is a racing against time, both literally and figuratively. Loki and his team try to stop the TVA from melting down and the time stream from exploding. Meanwhile, Renslayer and Miss Minute invade the TVA to gain an army of their own, and Sylvia wonders if they're doing the right thing. This is basically our normal cast that we've had through episode 1 through 3. No real new characters here. You know, you got Tom Hiddleston as Loki, Owen Wilson as Mobius, Sophia Di Martino as Sylvie, Gugu. Is that how you say Gugu or Juju or Gugu for Judge Renslayer?
I would have to look.
Gugu Mabatha Raw.
Mabubu Gaga Baka Baka La.
Yep. You got Jonathan Mayers.
Gugu Mabatha Raw. Yeah, you're right. I don't know.
What the heck? I don't know. You got Hui Kwan.
Ki-Hu Kwan.
Oh, man. As Obi. Just everyone. Tara Strong as Miss Minute. Kind of the main guys that we've been focusing on through this whole series. Matt, we're going to get into non-spoilers. What do you think? Just give me your non-spoiler right off the bat.
I'm giving this a 4.2 out of 5. Maybe 4.3. I really like this episode. It's not a bad episode. We just explore, the characters a lot more obviously because we get them on the screen. But I really liked, and again, I'm against what Jonathan Majors has done off screen, but seeing him in the show and seeing him every single episode, I'm really enjoying it. And I think this episode we saw a lot from him, and we saw a lot happen to him. And so I thought it was a good episode. I would definitely, obviously, recommend it. But yeah, it's a 4.2.
Yeah, it's
I'll be right back 1 second.
Yeah, you're good. This is a one of those shows that is just like, I don't know. It's one of the main Marvel shows that I think right now that most people have looked forward to since season 1. No one knew really that Loki season 1 was going to be as good as it is now, but I'm so hyped because this episode was one of the better episodes. I think it had so much to do with the complexity of time travel and everything, and trying to understand really what time travel is, because I'm still trying to understand really how it all works within the TVA, and how I don't know, because time travel has been pretty much explained to me, or I guess not necessarily me, but in other movies, on how that whole area of time travel works. Because you think, well, I'm not going to get too much into it. I think I'm going to give this whole series, this episode, I can't think of really anything else that would be, or anything really, that would be that would lower my score more than a 4.7. So I'm gonna have to go with like I don't know. I gotta give it a 5 out of 5. Really nothing to complain. I think this is great Marvel TV series, and I kind of wish they would make a movie for Loki instead of a TV series and a whole series. But I mean, you get more out of the TV series than a movies, which is nice, because I mean, this is a 50-minute video or show, right, for this episode. So like, that basically
it's what we've been asking for.
Yeah, it's just like, it's exactly what we've been asking for, and man, they delivered. And it's the Marvel like stage 1 through whatever, those first few stages that like captured people's hearts. This is capturing people's hearts all over again. But I'm ready. I don't know. We'll see how it is. I shouldn't say I'm ready, but I'm going to, or whatever. But Miss Marvel's coming out in a couple weeks here. Was it next week? Yeah, but I'm just ready. I guess I'm hoping my heart doesn't get wrecked from that movie, but I think it's, I don't know how they're gonna bring it all together, and hopefully they can be better. I guess is the only way, the term I could put it. Just be better in how they've really approached this whole series, and coming and making this whole universe better than with Thanos and that whole era. So yeah,
because they because outside of, I agree with you. I think outside of this TV show, they've got some climbing to do.
Yep.
Because Secret Invasion, the ending to that, unacceptable. I think, in my personal opinion, unacceptable. Like, that type of ending for that type of show, just completely. I mean, we're obviously going to go see it because we're going to go do a podcast on it. But for those who aren't as invested into Marvel, or have an external resource that's pulling them closer to it, people are not going to go see that movie. Like, obviously, there's going to be an amount of people. There's going to be a good amount of people that show up and go. But comparatively to where Marvel's been after Secret Invasion, I would expect that there'd be a drop in people seeing it in the theaters, at least in the opening weekend. And so they got to climb out. In this TV series, we don't really know how much of an effect this has moving forward yet. We have no clue. because I mean, where we've been left off at is Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, essentially in the greater scheme of timeline. And now we're jumping to a different part, to a different villain, to a different. It's just like, I don't know.
Well,
they gotta really.
Well, let's like we'll get into the spoilers of it because like Disney has announced that they're parting ways with Jonathan Majors, Mayor, or whatever you want to get, Majors.
Jonathan Majors. Yep.
Yeah, and that was like the other day. Like they're not moving forward with him. When they released that, they're not doing that, and they're extending Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs another year. And so it's really, I'm curious on how or what they're going to do here within Marvel now and this whole universe, because they've got a firm foundation here. They have a good solid foundation, but that second layer was just mud. I hope that they can just really kind of wash that out a little bit in some way. If you get what I'm saying, because I'm not going to go into too much detail on what I'm trying to explain, but I think they have to basically build more up on that foundation with the Avengers, Captain America, and all those, Iron Man, and all them, and building that whole thing up. And I think I don't know how true that's, but with Thor, I don't know how true this is, but I heard the director of Thor isn't going to be coming back, or they didn't extend or don't want him to do Thor 4. I don't know. I just read something somewhere saying that. I don't know how accurate or how true that is. We can look into it if we want to, but there's a lot that we can talk about with that. But
well, yeah, they've already made Thor 4, so
with him.
Yeah, Thor: Love and Thunder.
Oh, I mean, no one. Sorry, I think of Thor 5 or whatever. My bad.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Simple mistake. It's okay.
And so like I think Taki or whatever his name is, I think is the director. Takiti. Yeah, Takiti. I think he did fantastic for Thor, and he needed that, but I'm curious on where Marvel's going to go. But let's get into it. I'm sorry, we're going on a tangent. We're kind of like whatever, trying to get into it, but not really getting into it. So let's do the spoiler here for our spoilers. Here we go. Spoiler. You've been spoiled. Okay. First off, let's start out back where we were in episode 3 with Renslayer and Miss Minute. And Miss Minute had told Renslayer that there's something that she needs to know, but if she found out, she's going to be pissed. And we don't necessarily know, I guess, we know a little bit about what Miss Minute was saying. I don't know if it's the full story, but basically what she's saying is that Miss Minute has been there before He Who Must Remains, or Victor Timely, or whatever you want to call him. He and Renslayer were the ones who created the TVA and this whole time thing. And He Who Remains basically had like the Order 66, where he basically wipes Renslayer's memory, because Renslayer was there leading right beside him the whole time. And then He Who Remains wiped her memory and didn't want anything to do with her. Matthew, was this a surprise to you, or what do you think about this whole part?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of got the vibe from the previous episode, so it made sense. What I was curious or trying to understand was that, so she brought her back.
Yeah.
And I wanted to know, obviously she had a big part just based off of the image that she saw on the little screen or whatever, and that she was kind of the right-hand man. But I was curious about the intent. Like, what was Miss Minutes trying to get at? You know what I mean? Like, why did she, like, obviously she brought her there to tell her, like, hey, you are kind of the right-hand man for the guy. But I always feel like, for me, watching this show, is that Miss Minutes always has some sort of angle that she's trying to win off of. So I'm like, okay, we get that she was the right-hand man. We saw that. But why bring her there? You know, like, why that place in particular? What are you trying to get at? What's the end goal? And I think it's because she's trying to use her to essentially destroy the TVA. And I think that's why.
This minute is?
Yeah.
I mean,
the overarching theme. And that's speculation.
Yeah. Like, I'm... Because in this episode, if we want to get into Miss Minute, let's get into Miss Minute, because Miss Minute is basically reset and her memory is wiped in this episode. And so, yeah, there is... I don't know if there's anything that is fully, I guess, connected there. Because my thing with this whole episode, and even in with, like I was saying before, is this time, like, understanding time in the TVA.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure that, like, is this what He Who Remained, the pre-one where the one they didn't kill, or the one they killed
last season,
the last season, did he know that this was all going to happen, and that this is basically his come up to getting back to where he is? Or is this basically a whole brand new timeline that they've made? Which I'm then thinking, okay, He Who Remains probably knew about this timeline, and why didn't he do anything about it? Or, like, I don't know. Like, that's the thing. It's just like, is this the way that, I guess, He Who Remains, basically, he knew that this was all going to happen, and this is basically just the process of how the TVA started.
Yeah.
And it's this never-ending loop.
Yeah. Or, well, I guess now that we get to the end of the episode, we see that he ends up dying at the end of the episode. Sorry, spoiler warning. We already gave that to you guys, so screw you guys.
He Who Remains. Yep.
He Who Remains. But what I was going to say is, well, it didn't go right the first time, so could he go and make a new timeline to restart and have as many tries as he wants at that timeline to get to where he wants to go, essentially?
Like what He Who Remains? Are we talking about? Victor Timely, or
they're the same people? They're the same people.
Yeah, I know, but, like, let's Victor Timely is the new He Who Remains, or whatever, the one that they haven't.
Yeah.
Killed
So what I'm saying
yet.
is that, so this one, so the one that died in season 1.
That's He.
Now
Who
we
Remains.
get a new Victor.
Yep.
So we got a new Victor. So is that just him creating a new timeline?
Right.
A variant above him.
Right.
Creating a new timeline to give as many tries as he can to get to what he wants, if that makes sense. Like, he's playing God, and he's saying, okay, I want to create another Victor Timely and see where that takes me. And if it gets me to this thing, I don't know what this thing is yet because it's all speculation.
Right.
and he dies. Okay, well now I'll just make another one and do the same thing or do the same steps that got me to where I was before, but then make it better. I don't know, because it was just like he died, and then all of a sudden, right after he died, they're sent on the mission to go find Victor Timely.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know that,
because it's then being like an endless loop until that loop becomes what Victor Timely or He Who Remains wants.
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of spectating here. I mean, if you come on
this whole show is speculation.
This whole show, that's true. It's just trying to understand what in the world's going on here. With like Miss Minute. Okay, so what do you think then? If we go, I mean, we're kind of
jumping around. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. Miss Minute, what do you think her purpose though now is? Because she's all like, what was her purpose before? And it was basically to inform them about everything, any questions that they have about basically the TVA and all that fun jazz. But now her memory's been wiped and she's reset. What is Miss Minute's purpose?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Because that's where I'm thinking is that it's just this whole circle. But I don't think it's a full circle because, like you're saying, yeah.
Well, Renslayer's dead. So Renslayer's not in the picture anymore. She can't be there to lead the army.
That's the thing. There's got to be something. This is what I'm saying. I'm thinking there's got to be something that brings Renslayer back and then He Who Remains, because those two guys are dead basically around the same time. There's got to be something in this next episode that they technically go back in time within the TVA, which we've already known that they did, because if we'll look at Loki, but Loki was already doing that in episode 1, moving between time between the TVA. And that's the funny thing though, is that not even the funny thing, it's something to be talked about.
This Renslayer is dead, but not the other Renslayer.
He's moving between the TVA, time within the TVA. So there is such a thing as time in the TVA. And so they're technically on a timeline. But that one's not like monitored or anything. It's one specific like area of time. I don't know, it's so freaking confusing. Oh my word. And so, like, I don't know, like, this whole thing is, like, they're going to probably find out about time in the TVA and then how to go back and change things within time in the TVA. And then hopefully...
There's time within that time. But there's another time in that time.
And this is, like, I mean, what... being a Christian is so great. But like, when you have like trying to think of things outside of time is like I can't think of that. Like I really can't. Like, and how that would work is just like impossible for me. And like to think that there's an actual being or this thing, creation, or not even a creation. I mean, there's no creator. And like you have to have no creator, no nothing. Yet, I mean. In here you have Victor Timely. He was a creation. He was created from something. But in order to be outside of time, I think you would have to. There's no doubt. You have to be something that created out of nothing. You'd have to be your own being. You couldn't be a creation. You'd have to just be. And that's just it's impossible in my mind to grasp. And then in here, that's where I think is just. What everybody wants is just to understand what's going on and there to be one thing that's just the timeline. But I think there's just this endless timelines of just the TVA and then the next TVA and just, like you're saying, it's just, and so I don't know, it's so trying to think about everything that's happened within these these episodes, and this episode is just like you're really trying to understand time. I think it's just because season 1 we didn't really have to worry too much about time and what time was, because the time wasn't being messed up. It was just moving in between time, trying to find Sylvie or Loki and stop her. But now we have a huge problem with just the time. And so in order to fix the time, we have to understand time. And there's no real explanation of what time is in here. And I don't know. There needs to be some type of just being that's always...
Maybe it's missed time. Maybe it's just missed time.
That's it. But then could be. But
she's running the show, essentially.
But then why give everyone access to her to basically reset her, if like through programming?
Free will.
I mean, she does have free will. That's true.
Yeah.
She has like feelings too. That's the other thing, is that we're understanding more about Miss Minute, is that she has actual feelings, because you feel like she's in love with Victor Timely, or I think more of He Who Remains, which is interesting. I don't know. Like, I think if Miss Minute is that being that is just always going to be there, and she has the free will, but then we'll, yeah. I just feel like she'd have to be this like basically all powerful person, because if she is this just a being, it stands outside of time, wouldn't that be more so that you have this power that you could move within time and then basically just do what you please?
She could. It is such a confusing thing to talk about.
I know.
Because it's just everywhere.
I know.
Like, well, you can't quantify in this show. You can't really quantify time.
Yeah. Well, I'm curious to see how the writers and directors really are going to perceive time in this, because explain
if they can make it make sense and it comes out with a bang, this might be some of the best writing Marvel's ever done.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, 100%. But well, let's get into like more of the characters, because here we're with let's get into the main guys, Loki and Mobius.
Okay.
I want to get into Mobius because in this interaction, I come to a specific interaction with him and Sylvie, and they're basically, stakes are high right now. Excuse me. Stakes are high, and Mobius is just asking to get a pie. He wants to get a pie. And Sylvie gets super pissed off. Is this more of just Mobius's character, or do you think he just doesn't care?
I think he's dealing with stress, and he wanted a pie. And I think that's just how his character is, I guess.
Yeah.
But it did make me think, because it's like, it's true. He doesn't know what has happened in his world prior to the TVA. He knows that he had a life before that. He did. He does know that. But he has never explored that. He's never actually truly said, you know what, let's take a look deeper into that. So he's the only person that hasn't really done that out of the main characters. And it brings up a good point from last episode. We talked about the fact that Mobius could be a sneaky villain for us. A villain that could come
right.
Like, just without realizing, we're just like, oh, piss. He's been flying under the radar type villain.
Right.
Because it's true. He's never experienced outside of the TVA. Obviously, he wants the TVA to be alive because that's all he has. And he doesn't really care about anything outside of that. And so she does bring up a point that really hit home, and I was just like, he doesn't really, he cares, but he doesn't really care, if that makes sense. He has no stakes in the game.
Yep.
Essentially. So
right.
If you don't have stakes in the game, you're not going to really care to play.
Yeah. And that's been one thing about Mobius that we've always been just like, what is his motivation?
Who is this guy?
Right. He's very still like you, because we feel like we can trust him. But yeah, you bring up, I think we bring up a good point. Is just like, can we really trust Mobius with what he wants? Because I think he knows his past. I think he's known, and he just doesn't want to talk about it, or even that, he just doesn't want to let people know about who he truly is. Because I think people get like Hunter B-15 or the security person lady. She really wanted to know because they are feeling a sense of identity of that's who they are. But with Mobius, he doesn't care because he's already has his identity. But his identity, it could be just in the TVA, but I would think that with the TVA just going down and completely in shambles, you'd be a little bit more stressful than be like, hey, let's get there's nothing else we can do. Let's go get some pie. I mean, if his identity and his everything's basically on TVA,
or he knows, or
right,
just light bulb, or he already knows, and
right.
He's the guy who's controlling everything, and he knows that he essentially is playing his chips right. He's playing chess, not checkers.
He knows what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
Man, that would turn in.
I mean, you could go around and just point the finger at everyone, I feel like, in this whole series.
I hate the show. Loki could be the bad guy
Loki
in the end.
You can't forget that Loki's the deceiver, and Sylvie's still got some past, and friggin' he who remains is he who remains. And then Obi, we just met him. You can't trust it. It's just like, I don't know. Friggin' Renslayer, anyone. And and I love that though. That's the thing about this whole series, is just like anyone at any point can be. It's like a Scooby-Doo movie or TV show. Is that you're thinking it's all these main characters or these characters, and then in the end you're like, I had no idea it was going to be them. And I feel like that's what Marvel is setting them up for I would have gotten away with it if it weren't for those lousy kids type scenario for us at the end, to be just, man, he would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for freaking Loki and Mobius or whatever.
And that dumb dog.
Yeah, the friggin' dog. Or Miss Minute. That could be it, dude. The Miss Minute comes back and just... Wow, who knows? I don't know. That's just a huge thing. I don't know.
Next episode, I want to kind of talk about it now, and then we could kind of be done. Up to you, obviously.
Yeah.
But we hit it off with the cliffhanger, and I literally got up from my desk, and I was like, "What the frick just happened?" Kristen, Victor Timely. So back a couple episodes ago, I can't remember if it was the first one or the second one. I think it was the first one. Mobius had to go out and put on the suit. He had to go put on the suit, and he had to go run out to the middle of the thing and time it up perfectly with Loki to basically stop one of the timeline things or something. Well, they had to go do that again, but basically a whole different way of doing it or whatever. And Victor Timely, or He Who Remains before He Who Remains becomes He Who Remains, is now tasked and decides to volunteer to put on the suit and go do the job that was supposed to be done. And he basically just puts on the suit, carries the thing, goes, runs out, and freaking dead to shreds.
Just like that. It was like
just like that, instantly.
It was it was just instantly. Wasn't any time or anything like that. It was just we'll kill him.
Yeah. So he's dead. And then all of a sudden, we see the explosion. Or, I don't know if it was let me just... the light, it's like when we saw Oppenheimer, we saw the flash of light. It was basically like that. And it's basically left off as a cliffhanger that everybody dies. Obviously, we're not done with the season yet, so we know that they're not dead yet. But what the frick?
Right.
Like, they actually killed somebody off. Which, congrats to Marvel. How many times have we been trying to get somebody killed off? And the only time that they've killed somebody off is a guy who we know has different variants. Like, we know he's not gone, obviously, but they killed somebody off. What I want to talk about is the direction of what happens moving forward, because I got a theory, and it's kind of the same theory we've talked about. But essentially, either this timeline dies, everybody dies in this timeline.
Yep.
And then a new timeline basically emerges. And that Miss Minutes is controlling the timeline itself. So she can go back in the time, she can go forward in time, she can go wherever she wants in time, obviously. We saw that when she brought Renslayer to 1680 whatever, 1800s.
Yep.
She has the ability to jump through time, and she obviously will die not in this timeline, or everybody will die in this timeline, but then she'll end up restarting the timeline. Essentially, that's what I'm thinking is going to happen, because you don't leave on that cliff note without something bad happening. I don't think, or they do some stupid thing where they show the flashy lights, they do the rumble, and then they go black screen, and then next episode they start off with the rumble, and then all of a sudden we figured it out, and then it's taken care of. I don't know, but it's just my thought. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. I there's so many rabbit holes you can go down. I don't know with this whole thing, and this, but I will say I loved the very end of this episode. I think you're right. It was such a great way of ending it, and that Marvel needed to basically kill somebody off to get more people on board. But I think, like I was saying before, there's got to be a way for them to bring back these characters that they just killed off. So in a way, they killed them off, but I think they're killing them. They're bringing them back somehow And that would possibly bring back, if they do that, I think that will also open a hole for Avengers Secret Wars. Possible. I'm trying to think of how that would play out, because I think this is just too early to do that. But if they are able to bring people back to life, basically, or however they could bring back, anybody, Iron Man, whoever's friggin' dead or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I think right now in this TV series, this is a pivotal TV series for Marvel. And I think they need to really emphasize that this TV series is going to be a part of our whole new universe. And I think they need to, like I said, they need to discard everything and do a wash of everything else. Because these next few, how many more episodes we got? These next few episodes,
there's 6,
are pivotal.
How many episodes? There's
6.
Number of episodes.
Well, at least IMDb shows 6.
Sorry, 6.
So November 9th, which will be right around Miss Marvel.
That week.
Yeah, that week. And I think that's intentional.
Mm-hmm. They've got to cameo somebody, right?
In this episode 6, at least.
They've got to cameo somebody to connect it to the story. They have to. They have to. They have, like, Loki has to go back and like find
somebody.
Oh, dude, we're jumping through weeds here. But we got to get done here soon. But
yeah, tell me about it.
Loki jumps back in time to find Tony and tell Tony about XYZ and prevent him either from dying or bringing that Tony into the new timeline.
Yeah, I think it could be a possibility, but there needs to be a reason for why Loki thinks specifically about Tony.
Because he knows the timeline now. He knows that Tony Stark created the time machine to defeat Thanos, to get the Infinity Stones back.
Is that?
Oh my gosh! And then he could bring Cap. Oh my gosh, he could bring Cap back.
Yeah, he could bring Cap back.
We get when does King what is that? When does that come out? King Dynasty.
I have no idea.
Avengers King Dynasty. It's in 2026. It's plenty enough time.
When is Secret Wars coming out?
Secret Wars is 2027, but that has nothing to do with King Dynasty. King Dynasty's separate.
Because I thought Secret Wars is gonna
Wars is gonna pull all. It's gonna pull all the villains together versus all the heroes.
Yeah.
In Secret Wars, Tony Stark and Captain America are in there.
Yeah. So then, King Dynasty.
King Dynasty might be where they come all together. Where they have to come together to kill King.
Yeah, I mean, who knows?
It's a stretch. It's a
stretch. To be honest, I mean, yeah, do whatever you want, but I just don't think that's I don't think they're going to bring them back for that. I think what they're going to do is bring them back for Secret Wars. I don't think that's. Of course, maybe they create something.
Avengers, the King Dynasty. I'm looking at their cast list. Florence Pugh, Haley Steinfeld as the girl Hawkeye, whatever her name is. Miss Marvel, Brie Larson. the new Black Panther, Chris Hemsworth, Cassie Lang, Wong, Paul Rudd, Oscar Isaac as Moon Knight, Namor, Daredevil, Clint Barton, Shang-Chi, Hulk, Doctor Strange.
Is She-Hulk in it?
She-Hulk's not in it. Good. Because I hate
horrible, terrible. No,
did you watch it?
She-Hulk?
Yeah.
I think I watched maybe the first 2 episodes. I stopped.
I watched the whole thing, but it was still bad.
Yeah.
You should at least watch the last episode.
Should I?
Because it cameos a lot of different stuff.
Yeah.
Talks about Kevin Feige and kind of talks to like timeline stuff, different stuff about the timeline. Yeah, it's kind of cool. But that's about the best part of the show, in my opinion.
Typical. All right. Well, that'll do it. I think you guys, if you keep watching, I mean, there's so much. Like, I hate to leave off like this because I feel like we've left so many things open and like not closed. Like so many theories, so many thoughts, and it's just because this episode was just the closed out with an open or cliffhanger technically, but just this wide open area where you have no idea what's happening, and you have to really just come to a bunch of conclusions and try to figure out what's going on within this series. But I love it. I think this was the best episode yet. Love the action and just just everything coming together. Everyone coming together to try to fix this huge problem that's coming around. But that will do it for the podcast for this week. I appreciate you guys listening. It's been a good time. Matthew and I have been going at it for almost 3 hours. Jeez Louise.
The first hour and a half was just us arguing about stuff. About how if Zach Wilson is getting carried by his team.
Well, if you guys want to listen to a bunch of guys just talk about some football or just random things, you guys can definitely show up to the pre-show. We usually start pre-show around 8. And if you want to be notified about that, we usually go on Mondays at 8. But not every time. Majority of the time, I'd say 99% of the time, we're on Monday at 8 p.m. But today we're doing it on Sunday just because of Halloween and all that stuff, and that's just how it worked out. But if you guys want to be there and make sure you don't miss the pre-show, and not even that, just want to listen to everything live, we got all the social media to let you know. We got Twitch, Facebook, we got YouTube, and just make sure you hit that notification button just to let you know that when we posted a new video or we're going live and all that fun stuff, and just up all the updates. We do also have all the social media, so if you want to follow us on there, you can do that. It's just an easy click. But guys, thank you so much for listening. We love you. We had such a great time. And we hope you guys are having a fantastic time and night. We will see you next week. We're pretty much reviewing Loki episode 5, I'm assuming, right, Matthew?
I don't think there's anything else we can really talk about.
Not a whole crazy amount.
We'll be talking about episode 5, and then we'll go episode 6,
something like that.
Episode 5 and then episode 6, and then we got to talk about the Marvels.
Because Marvels is on the 11th, I think.
It comes out that weekend, the 10th, so it'll be out that Thursday.
Oh, jeez.
So we'll have to figure out the schedule there. We might be an episode behind or something. I'm not sure, but it'll be a good time.
Yeah.
It'll be a good time.
It's gonna be a great time. But yet again, guys, thanks for listening. We love you. And we can't wait. Oh, wait, it's on the 9th, November 9th. I see some showings.
Yep.
The same day. Whatever. We're trying to close this out. Thank you guys again. We love you. Come back again. We will see you on the flip side. Peace. Where'd it go? It's going, I swear.
Guys, we're having some technical difficulties.
We'll see you guys later.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Peace, guys.
And that's a wrap on another hilarious and unforgettable episode of the Goof and Goober Show. We hope you had as much fun listening as we did recording. If you enjoyed the show, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on our future goofiness. Join us next time as we continue to explore the weird and wonderful world of laughter and entertainment. Remember, you can always connect with us on social media and share your favorite moments using hashtag Goof and Goober Show. Until next time, stay goofy, stay goober, and keep spreading smiles wherever you go. Thanks for tuning in to the Goof and Goober Show with Matthew and Regan.